But we're about to get started. I'm going to turn it back over to Veronica, and then she's going to bring up our first speaker. She is amazing. Veronica's going to tell you about it, but I've gotten a chance to speak at her event several times. She does events all across the United States. She's a very powerful lady, but before she comes up, I have to introduce her mother. And so the speaker that's coming up, as you can see, her name is Brenda. Well, guess what her mother's name is?
Brenda.
There she is. Stand up, Brenda. There's her mother. And so now you guys get ready, and I'm going to turn it back over to Veronica, and we're going to bring up the daughter, Brenda.
Miss Brenda. I met her several years ago. Dr. West and I were doing one of our events, and she just kind of stood out in the crowd. Not because she was loud, not because she was flamboyant, not because she just was all up in everybody's face, but I kind of look at her like the quiet storm. Because if I were to give her a title, it would be the comeback kid. When I was talking to her just yesterday, I learned something else about her. She's been through cancer. She's been through all kinds of things. I don't know if she's going to get into that with her presentation, but she don't look like what she's been through. And so if you can appreciate it as individuals, if you've been through something and you can look in the mirror and say, I don't look like what I've been through, give yourself a hand. And while we're giving up a hand clap, we're going to bring to the stage the one, the only, Miss Brenda Ringwood. Brenda. Yes, double up.
How is everybody? My name is Brenda Ringwood, and I am known as the Professor of Change. Do you know why I got that title?
No. Do tell.
Because change is possible. But see, there's a catch to it.
There's a catch.
You have to want it.
Yes.
Because if you don't want it, you're not going to do it. And no matter how good you think you are, or no matter what your status is in life, there's always room for change. Because what does change do for you? What does it do? Can you guess? It makes you better. It makes you stronger. This is an empowerment event. Who wants to be empowered? Who wants to be the best version of themselves? Who wants to grow? Isn't that why you're here?
Yes.
I always hate being the first speaker. You know why? Because you got to bring the energy. And I'm no match for Miss Veronica. She's got it, right? And I'm no match for you, because each one of you has your own energy. You each have your own superpower. Did you know that?
Yes.
You are powerful. No matter what your past is, no matter what your living conditions are, no matter how much money you make, what your status is, what you live in, what kind of car you drive, or even if you have a car. You have a value. There's a time in my life where I didn't have that value. At least I thought I didn't. You see, I struggled with being self-conscious. And I have a young man that traveled to see me, and he says, "You're so confident." But that wasn't always the case. In fact, I met Dr. Reuben West just 4 years ago, and I had lost my confidence because of life's situations. Things that had happened to me, I let bring me down. I let other people's opinions of me control my life. Sometimes even my own family. I let friends influence me. How many of you do that?
Yeah.
I let fear rule my life. Doubt, insecurities. I thought I wasn't good enough. How many of you guys here think you're not good enough?
Sometimes.
Let me tell you, you are.
Yes.
How many of you look in the mirror every day? We get dressed, right? We look in that mirror. What do you see? What do you see? Beauty. You are all beautiful. Not only are you all beautiful, you are all worthy. worthy. Let me hear you say, I am worthy.
I am worthy.
I am beautiful.
I am beautiful.
Because you are. But you know what? I didn't hear you mean it.
Oh.
Let me hear you say, I am worthy.
I am worthy.
I am beautiful.
I am beautiful.
Now I want to hear you say, I'm ready for change.
I'm ready for change.
4 years ago, I met Dr. Reuben West. I had only been out of prison for 1 year. 1 year. 2 years after I met Dr. Reuben West, I was on stages because I realized I was worthy and that my past didn't matter. I was on stages sharing the word. I was sharing the word of God because God said, I can do all things through Christ who strengthens me. I was not mine, but I was his. And his word is the only word that matters. So I said, guess what? You're following a path that says Brenda, when you need to be following a path that says God.
Woo.
How many of you are on that right path?
What?
See, my path was the wrong path, which landed me in prison for 4 years. At 46 years old. I turned 50 years old in prison. 50 years old in prison. Prison. Let's talk about that. Sometimes we're in our own prison right here. We are in a mental prison because we don't want to change. We are content with being miserable. We are content with being okay. But are you really just okay? And are you really content? We think we are. We are afraid to move forward because of what other people think. We are afraid to move forward because we don't have the job that we want. But guess what? When you look in that mirror every morning and you see that beauty and you see that worth, you're the only one stopping you. You are the only one stopping you from having the life that you want. This is Live Your Best Life Nairobi.
Woo, woo.
Are you living your best life?
Woo, woo.
Are you living your best life?
Yes.
And what are you going to do tomorrow?
More.
Live a
That's right.
better life.
So I went on and I became known as the Professor of Change. And I started my own platform. I started my own movement called Becoming the Best You. Because if I can do it, so can you. And if I can do it, so can the world. One person can make a difference. Jesus did. His disciples did. I mean, really, even so did Darwin. Are you that person to make a difference? How about you? If you really want change, you need to embrace the person that you are first. If you do not love yourself, that change is not going to happen. You have to understand who you are before you can move forward and change. You have to be brave. Brave isn't fighting a war. Brave is stepping up to be the person who you want to be. And then you're fighting your own war. Sometimes the only person stopping you is yourself because we limit ourselves. Do you limit yourself? Limits are for the birds. Limits are for the birds. The only person limiting yourself is you. Let me tell you, I didn't have a single penny when I came out of prison. We had a house fire, so I didn't even have any clothes. Nothing. Put the clothes on my back when I walked out with. But I was the wealthiest woman in the world because I had my family. And it took me going to prison to realize the value that I already had. Once I realized the value that I had, I could move forward. And I started becoming the best you with no money. $0. And you know why? I know. I did it because I had relationships in a community full of people who wanted change. There's a lot of them in this room right here. Your relationships are what's important. Now here's the kicker on that. I train on sales all over the country in the United States. That's what my background was prior to being a speaker. Sales is negotiating. And the first rule of negotiation is be willing to walk away. Sometimes that means walking away from people.
Right.
It means walking away from negativity.
Right.
It means walking away from your past.
Right.
It means walking away sometimes from family members. You can still love them. You can still associate with them, but you do it differently. You don't have to share your dreams with everybody. You know what I say? Let me prove it to you. Let me prove it to you. Because if the tongue in our mouth is not matching the tongue in our shoes, if your mouth is not matching where you're walking, what's the point? What's the point? So I want to hear you say, I am worthy.
I am worthy.
I am beautiful.
I am beautiful.
Now I want to know, what is your kingdom? What is your kingdom? It is your life, right? We all have one. It's you. That's right. It is you. Your kingdom is you. It is your world. It is your life. It is your family. It is your job. It's what you do. It's your hobby. It's your religion. Who rules it? Are you ruling your own kingdom? Are you? Or are you letting fear rule it? How about doubt, insecurity, low self-esteem? When I was growing up, my dad was a colonel in the Army. Everything had to be just right. 100% right. If it wasn't, I had to do it over again. If I missed a blade of grass when I was mowing the yard, I had to mow the whole yard again. At the time, I thought he was coming down hard on me, but he was teaching me value. He was teaching me to do things right the first time. He was teaching me to be proud of myself and my work and to respect who I was. How many of you guys respect who you are? You see, the first part of change is respecting the person that you are and then moving into the person that you want to be. And everybody says, oh, I'm not ever going to be there. Well, guess what? Neither am I. And I don't ever want to be there because when you get there, you're never becoming the best version of yourself. Keep moving that goalpost. Keep moving in life. So I have a thing that I do. I wear a crown. Then I usually have a bigger crown, but because we're traveling, I have a small crown. And my crown reminds me that I am the queen of my kingdom, that I rule my kingdom, that fear does not rule my kingdom, that my dad does not rule my kingdom, my friends do not rule my kingdom, life does not rule my kingdom. I rule my kingdom. I want to hear you say, I rule my kingdom.
I rule my kingdom.
I rule my kingdom.
I rule my kingdom.
What does that mean? What does that mean? It means that you make your own decisions. It means that you not only make your own decisions, that you create your own life, that you're going to go after it. This is an empowerment event. I want you to love who you are. Be who you are. Don't worry about what somebody else thinks, because they ain't paying your bills. They're not doing anything for you other than being negative, right? But when you find that person that's your cheerleader, that's somebody you want in your community. Who has a cheerleader in their corner? You need a cheerleader. Not only do you need a cheerleader, you need to be the cheerleader for somebody else.
That's right. That's
You
right.
need to be the cheerleader for somebody else.
That's right.
You need to always be helping others become the best version of themselves.
That's right.
Because when you do that, you're helping you to become the best version of yourself. Can I hear you say yes?
Yes.
So I am going to apologize for this in the beginning because it's not something that I do. It's not my specialty. But we've heard a lot about light this weekend. We heard about it last night. A light can be seen, just a little speck in the deepest darkness. Did you know that light is also contagious and you can't stop it? I want to know if your light is shining. Is your light shining?
Yes.
And are you sharing that light with others?
Yes.
This little light of mine, I'm gonna let it shine. This little light of mine, I'm gonna let it shine. This little light of mine, let it shine, let it shine, let it shine. Won't let fear stop me now.
I'm gonna let it shine.
Won't let doubt dim my light.
I'm gonna let it shine.
Won't let you stop me now. I'm gonna let it shine, let it shine.
Let it shine, let it shine.
So is your light shining? Is it?
Yes.
Prove it to me. Prove it to me. What are you doing to make your light shine? Tell me that. Myself. Believing in herself. Give her a round of applause. Yes. Somebody else. What are you doing to let your light shine? She's smiling. How about somebody else? You love yourself. How about over there? You're in charge of your life? Yes. How about you? By being the best version of yourself. And you know what? I like to tell people, I'm not better than anybody, but I am better than one person. You know who that is? The person I was yesterday.
That's right.
Because today I am better, and tomorrow I'm going to be even better. And I'm going to meet fantastic speakers like this that are going to help me along the way. I'm going to meet people like you, because you matter. You matter. If you don't think you matter, think what your family's life would be like without you.
That's powerful.
It took me going to prison to realize that. It took me that to realize how much I did matter. But more importantly, I matter to God. I matter to God. So therefore, when you matter to God, nothing else matters, because He is the only one that you should be trying to please. Our sole purpose in life is to glorify God. Are you doing that? Are you? We should be trying to, right? So what I want to hear from somebody is, I am worthy.
I'm worthy.
I am beautiful.
I'm beautiful.
I'm striving to be the best version of myself.
I'm striving to be the best version of myself.
And I want to hear you say, I'm sharing my light.
I'm sharing my life.
Your light matters. Don't let somebody else dim your light. Because if they dim your light, now you are dimming yourself. You let somebody else do it. You see, you can't do it to yourself unless you let it happen. Tracy can't dim my light unless I give her the power to do it. So I'm powerful, and I rule my own kingdom. And I'm going to keep my light shining. And I'm going to help you shine your light. I'm going to help you shine your light. And together we're going to be a bright force. We're going to have a bright future. And what does that look like? Beautiful. It's beautiful. It looks like whatever you want it to. So get up off the couch, turn your light on, and get out there and make a difference in your life. That's all I got for you. I'm Brenda Ringwood. I am so happy to be here in Kenya.
Let's sing this little light of mine. This little light of mine, I'm gonna let it shine. This little light of mine, I'm gonna let it shine. Come on, y'all. This little light of mine.